How do you do, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Ruffle Rowlett, and welcome back to a brand new video, guys. Today, we're going to be taking a look at some Pokemon rumors, leaks, all that kind of stuff. So let's get started right off the bat. Kicking things off, we have this post right here, posted by an anonymous person over on 4chan, saying ZA in spring. And he says the following words. He says, here's proof that ZA is coming out in spring. Merch is getting released showcasing Megas and Kalos Pokemon to coincide with the spring release. It's releasing on the Switch, not the successor. So yes, it is releasing on this. That's very, very true. But again, let's read through this again and let's look at the image. So the image here is apparently merch updates. I don't know where he got this from. No ID. It says Trainer Team Series, which is supposed to be like new, I guess, new toys, which does seem legitimate. Like, I have seen these kind of posts before. This does seem like, you know, relatively like legit. Apparently only at Targets, as far as I can tell. So this is going to be merch in the US. But what he's saying here, though, is that here's proof that ZA is coming out spring, right? So he's implying this coming out spring. And that's mainly because the merch is dropping in spring. That doesn't necessarily confirm it. I started off like that. That doesn't necessarily confirm it, but it definitely does work in the favor of this being in spring. The fact that both, but then again, you also have Tyrantrum in fall of 2024. So, you know what I mean? It's like, there's no guarantees, but the fact that it says one last sneak peek and then only a Target, and it's again a Mega Charizard X in particular coming in spring 2025, it could imply that's the case. And again, he says here, the proof that ZA is coming out in spring, merch is getting released showcasing Megas and Kalos Pokemon to coincide with their spring release. It's releasing on the Switch, not the successor, which, yes, I don't know where everybody's gotten this idea that a game is going to be releasing on the Switch too. The chance of that being the case, extremely low in my opinion. But again, my opinion doesn't really matter much, and my opinion is not valuable, so it doesn't matter. But I will still say, I highly doubt that it's going to be on the Switch too. It just doesn't make any sense. They say it's coming on, all Switch consoles. All Switch console just implies all the versions of the Switch, because there's a lot of versions of the Switch. You have the Switch, you have the Switch Lite, you have the Switch OLED. That's all different iterations and versions of the Switch. You know, that's not new consoles. That's all the same console. They're all just different iterations, which is different from a genuine brand new, console. And again, spring does make sense. Like, spring period would make sense if you think about it, because that would be anywhere between like what, around April until like June almost, right? That's a good period of time. That's a decent amount of time between Pokemon Day in 2025 and the actual release of the game later in that year. Like, that actually makes sense. Like, it's 100%, wow, molto bene, perfect. It actually makes sense. So I don't know. I'd love to know what you guys think about this. It's like one of the ones that I've seen, like one of the posts I've seen that has been not talked about as much, which I really thought was interesting because, this is genuine, like, thing, I would feel like. Like, merch is something very different, and merch leaks much easier than anything else. Like, merch is a good indicator of what's to come, right? And another thing about merch that I want to say right now is that Ridley-Koo, for those who do not know him, he's a leaker that's been correct a large time in the past, a large amount of times in the past, but recently he's been a little bit iffy on his info, though he has been correct about a few small things, so I'll give him that. But he did say that, oh, we're definitely getting news this year, and the reason why is because merch. And why is it merch? Well, because the Pokemon centers, which are these, real-life Pokemon shops that you can go to in Japan mostly, they're going to be actually starting their promotion of X and Y and Kalos-themed toys and merchandise and all that kind of stuff. That's going to be in the shops very soon, and it would make sense to coincide that with the news of actual gameplay for Legends ZA to get people excited, to get pre-orders going, all that kind of stuff. It's about time. So if even he's saying it, and then we got this image, if it's real, it could be total BS. I don't really know. I could be just talking out of my bum here. But point is, there is a lot of things that point in that direction. So I'll leave it at that. But either way, moving on to the next thing, though, it's an interesting post which was made. It's been a while since it actually came out, so it's been a solid amount of time. But let's see what it actually has to say, though. So, Scarlet and Violet World's announcement, and he says the information was gotten from a Chinese leaker group who has gotten Pokemon leaks right in the past, and then he's complaining about Ridley-Koo, so I'm not going to go into that. He says there will not be any ZA content revealed at Worlds. Guess what? This post was right. This post was made on the 16th of August. So it was made before that, the reveal for Worlds and everything, before Worlds, I guess, happened, before Worlds was fully complete. And he said there will not be any ZA content. And he was right. He was not wrong. He was actually right. Then he says, Scarlet and Violet will be getting a small update in November, celebrating the game's 2-year anniversary with a Battle Tower update. That would actually be really, really, really cool if we did get an update like that, because we haven't really gotten anything else for Scarlet and Violet. And keep in mind, we're going to have to live, especially and if you're a VGC player, if you're somebody who does competitive Pokemon, you are stuck, okay? Let's be real here. You are stuck for the next 2 years. 2.5 years, actually, because remember, you still got to complete the rest of this year, which is easily another half year to go, because, you got all, I mean, let's say August is over, but you got September, October, November, December. That's 4 more months. On top of all of next year, you're not going to have a new game because you're going to have Legends ZA, which is not for competitive players. So it's not going to have competitive play in it, most likely, because that's not what the Legends games seem to be aiming for, at least. So you're not really going to have that. And again, a lot of people are indicating that we're going to be stuck on Scarlet and Violet. So you're going to have 4 months plus a whole year, plus however long it takes before, you know, so because 2025 next year is going to be all about Legends EA, so there's not going to be any like Generation 10 most likely. As much as I thought that was going to be announced next year, I guess probably not based on everything we've seen so far and their decisions lately. But here's the thing: you're going to have, and this is the crazy part, you're going to have 4 months at first. You're going to have a whole year with just Legends EA, and then when they do announce Generation 10, most likely in 2026 at the beginning of the year, you're still going to have to wait until November most likely for that game to release. So you're going to have to go for almost a grand total of 2 years and like 3 months of waiting, give or take. Maybe 2 years and 2 months, give or take. But you have about 2 years and 2 months to wait before you actually get something that's different than Scarlet and Violet. But oh boy, that's going to be an interesting time, okay? It's going to be a wild time, I'm not going to lie. So I'm very curious to see how this is going to go. I'm very curious how it's going to be for competitive players because y'all are going to suffer, like straight up. It's going to be a suffering for you guys. So what is the rest of the post? Well, he says, Scarlet and Violet going to be in that small update, which again, a Battle Tower update would be such a good way to keep the game alive for longer. Like, I don't know why Pokemon doesn't do this, like, more and, like, release more, like, content for their games after release. It's just a good way to keep the community alive and keep people invested and also encourage people, like, because anytime, you know, anytime you put an update out, it's going to boost the number of people that are either playing the game or covering the game in videos, which is going to drive sales. Because a lot of people, and it's just something that's just reality, and you guys can be like, whatever, you have no impact on anything or whatever. I've done so many streams and videos and stuff where people will genuinely be like, hey, should I buy this game? Is it worth it? And then they'll be like, hey, you know what? I actually decided to do it. You told me like it was pretty decent. I'll do it. Or, hey, you said it wasn't good, so I decided not to do it. Or, hey, you said it wasn't worth the money, so I didn't do it. Point is, people will take those things, people will take those words, you know, and actually run with them, and they will listen to them if you give them those kinds of opinions. So if you, on the other hand, have people covering the update, people playing the update, if there is an update, and again, it's like very small amount of work. You can have a tiny little team dedicated to releasing small little updates for Scarlet and Violet that just, you know, add some extra gameplay. It's like not that big of a deal. You can easily do that, and all you do when you do that is a new update comes out, guess what? Everybody that does Pokemon content gonna cover it because there's nothing else to talk about. We're gonna cover it. People might see it. People might be like, hey, I haven't played it in a while. Hey, I never played the DLC. Might as well give that a shot too. Or hey, I haven't played Scarlet and Violet, and you know what? It's actually on sale right now, so maybe I should bite the bullet and, you know, bite the dust. What is wrong with me? Bite the bullet and actually get it. Maybe it's about time, you know, like maybe I should. Point is, you know, this kind of stuff matters, and all you really need to do is just give us something to actually, you know, talk about. Give us something to play. Give us some, you know, small updates. Doesn't have to be massive, just small stuff. Either way, he says DLC is not required for this, and you'll be able to fight Pokemon only found in the DLC 2 in the Battle Tower, but the requirements for accessing the Battle Tower are currently unknown. Interesting. The Battle Tower will be located in Levincia, and its owner is Iono's manager. Ooh, interesting. Again, there you can just reuse. You can literally just reuse the assets. You don't even need to make new assets. It's so easy just to reuse the stuff you already have. He says Iono has also gotten a new look, and she wears a futuristic outfit with eye visors. Okay, that sounds intriguing. Her role in the Battle Tower is a battle queen. She wants you to help her Pokemon battle streams to get lots of viewers. Bro, this literally goes back to streamers again. Holy shit, we are all so cooked, bro. We are so cooked. We are so cooked when they start covering like shitheads like me. Either way, point is, they say apparently you're going to need to get a lot of viewers. It works like the other battle towers, except you have to gain viewers by doing different things in battles. Knocking out opponents, terrestrializing your Pokemon, winning battles, etc. But you also can lose viewers in battles as well. If you lose too many viewers, you'll instantly lose your streak. Losing in a battle also instantly makes you lose your streak. Okay, cool. Once you've won enough battles, you'll be able to fight Battle Queen Iono, who has went all out for the fight. You'll earn/lose double the viewers for the match, and on the second go, you'll be able to receive a special ribbon. The Battle Tower has two formats, single battles and double battles, both letting you earn a special ribbon. Once you lose, you'll be rewarded by how many viewers Iono's Pokemon battle streams have managed to get. More viewers equals better rewards. A brand new item will be introduced that is only obtainable from the Battle Tower called a Pokemon Broken Bottle Cap. It decreases a Pokemon's IVs by 1 point. It's very hard to obtain. Interesting. I'm gonna be real. This is a interesting rumor. This is a very intriguing one because, again, a lot of stuff about Legends ZA, a lot of stuff about that, a lot of stuff about, you know, it's going to be set in the future, it's going to be this, it's going to be that. But a Battle Tower update for Scarlet and Violet? I'm not gonna lie, that sounds pretty interesting. That is very different from anything I've seen before. And the thing is, this guy isn't exaggerating with what he's saying here. It feels very like tame and realistic in its approach. And again, reusing Iono and Valencia, the whole city and everything, for this battle tower, that's literally Pokemon 101. That's just Pokemon 101. That's like Pokemon, how do we cut corners and save time and money? That's what we do. We just reuse the shit we already have. That's perfect. That is genuinely perfect. That's all they would have to do. He says, though, it's going to be announced in November. Apparently, that's at least what I got from this. A small update in November. Question then is, you know, when would it be? I guess when would it be announced? Because there is talks right now that there could still be news this year based on at least what that Riddler Coup guy said. I mean, you guys, I say that Riddler guy, Coup guy, but I've talked to Riddler Coup a few times, so it's not like a stranger. We all know him, but for those who do not know, Riddler Coup, the guy, did imply that we might be getting some news, or we should still be getting news about Legends ZA this year, before Pokemon Day of next year. So that still is the case. But again, interesting rumor, genuinely intriguing. So I don't know. I'd love to know what you guys think about it. Next up, we have a really quick little short rumor, which says, if you're all curious about Pokemon's timeline for the next games, here it is. 2024 is fall. Fall is going to be Pocket, so that's now, right? You got Pokemon, Pokemon TCG Pocket coming out this year in fall. We actually know it's at the end of October, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's when it comes out, 30th of October. Then 2025, spring is Legends ZA. Wouldn't fit with what we've already seen. Holiday DLC for ZA connecting to Legends Arceus. Will they do DLC for Legends ZA? That would be interesting to know, huh? And then 2026, Holiday Generation 10. Honestly, pretty straightforward list. Again, it's pretty much what I think everybody assumes would be the case now. So we'll see if it's true, man. We'll see if it's true. But moving on, we have this post right here from a person called Pokemeow, who says, Pokemon 30th anniversary. He says, I won't give any information on this subject, as I don't want my identity or the person who gave me this information to get in trouble, please. But he says, Pokemon Horizons character Liko and Meowscarada, Roy and Skeledirge, Dot and Quaquaval sadly end their adventure in the 9th generation. But as a big surprise for the 30th anniversary of Pokemon Company, our friend Ash and Pikachu make their comeback with 2 new friends in the 10th Pokemon generation, scheduled for November 2026. Pokemon Company is looking for voice actors in several languages for a secret project. Look out for a big surprise in the two new 10th generation anniversary games. Pokemon Company looking for voice actors in several languages for a secret project. Beware, the 2 new 10th generation anniversary games have some big surprises in store for us. This is a random post, but saying that Ash might be coming back is kind of a wild one, because I don't think it's that crazy to assume. I do think Ash might return at some point in case the anime is going down the drain in terms of performance. And again, it's hard to measure anime performance and how well that's doing, but I'm going to put it like this. Ash retiring and becoming the Pokemon World Champion was the biggest anime event I think we had in Pokemon since probably like one of the first movies, right? Like since back then. We haven't had something as massive as that, as him finally retiring and winning and becoming, the very best. That was massive. Everybody talked about it. They wrote news articles about Ash becoming the champion. Like, that's ridiculous. It's a written story. It's not, it's not like an Olympian winning gold after losing for like, a fucking 15 years or something. Like, point is, it is ridiculous, but it is also impactful. If you're telling me that they're going to kill that impact, that would be really weird, because if they bring him back, that's essentially what they are doing. They're killing that impact, which is where I think this would not be real. But again, crazier things have happened, so there's just, always a chance this could still be the case. We'll just have to wait and see if it is, but, for now, we don't know. Next up, we have this post right here, says, from Knower, who says, accurate. It says, Legends ZA seems to explore a past or alternate timeline. The characters Emil, male Serena, and Lauren, female Callum, are involved, with the one you choose being a transfer student from Paldea, while the other is Professor's assistant. The professor, named after Peppermint, resembles an elderly male Diantha. You and your rival are tasked with training both Pokemon and people to coexist as part of Lumios's redevelopment plan. Examples include managing conflicts between marine Pokemon and fishermen, or training Pokemon to volunteer at cafes. The game has a stronger focus on battles, encouraging players not to skip encounters. Kalo's partner Pokemon are plentiful, and players start with a partner from the Kanto trio. Interesting. So you're implying that we would get, like, again, Squirtle, Bulbasaur, Charmander. These partners will use existing forms and Mega Evolution. There are no new Mega Evolutions, but several variants and regional evolutions appear, such as Rock Steel Charcoal, who becomes a charging train named Vitasol. There's also a look-alike Pokemon, such as a Grasswater Yuglin, who resembles Bramblin drifting down the river. There's new forms. These new forms aren't rideable or tied to NPCs like before. The Z Squad, an environmentalist group, awakens Zygarde. They attempt to use the Mega Evolution to guide Zygarde against the city. A new legendary, most likely the A in the ZA, is introduced. It's a shapeshifter that mimics architecture, okay? The color palette of Shiny Zygarde, with the color palette of Shiny Zygarde, okay, and seems to be tied to AZ and the ultimate weapon, implied to be a negative fallout of Zygarde's core energy. Actually, I've been playing Fallout New Vegas lately. It is top tier. Anyway, feels kind of similar to the Ultra Beast or a Paradox, but is distinctly a new Pokemon. Enough of this will be shown in the next trailer to verify my claims, but it won't be revealed as much as I've shared. This is more or less all anyone on the outside knows. Nobody has much. Again, strange, very, very strange, but it is what it is. It's an interesting rumor. I'd love to know you guys' thoughts. And let's move on to the last rumor for this video, which is this one right here, which starts off with, my mom told me some info about PLZA. Cool. Let's see what your mom told you. Apparently, releases in September. Oof, that's a long time for next year. I think that's too late, I would say. All characters from Gen 6 appear, but most of them don't get redesigned. Some few new characters are returning ones. Not set in the past, it's after 3 months after the Indigo Disc. Professor is a redhead woman similar to Lysander and Lorelei, friends with Rhyfort. Low Kicks, Floatsteel, Scovillain, and Scolipede get Megas. This one looks like a car. Okay, geez. Megas are reworked and now is introduced as new state called Mega Upgrade. Poppy's brother is a miner that works at the forge. Okay, so he's doing some mining. Cool. Iono and Miriam are sisters. They have a third one called the Deca. Corinna runs a dojo to learn TMs. Dendra and Tulip change IVs and EVs. Furret gets a new regional form that looks like a snake. Is the ace of Drasna. Giacomo gives you the new music. The Gen 6 starters do not get new megas, but get mega upgrades. Diantha gets a dress resembling a Mega Evolution, a mega upgrade. New Pokemon that looks like Ink and has a gimmick to Ditto. Leon gets a cameo alongside Geta and Kieran. And Shiny Safari return with sandwiches run by the cooking teacher from Paldea. I'll be real. Too fanfiction-y. I really doubt we're going to see a lot of those characters because, again, it's a Legends game, and Legends implies some form of, I guess not past, but it implies like something more specific. Like if you look up the definition of of legend, like if you just look up the definition of legend, it implies a traditional story, sometimes popularly regarded as a historical but not, authenticated. So again, it would be weird to do something like, to make a Legends game set in Kalos, but set it around the same time as the most recent games, because that makes it not feel like much of a Legends type game. You know what I mean? I feel like a Legends game set in the future would make way more sense, like distant future, because then you could refer to legends of the past to, kind of make it more fit with the theme. But this way, it just doesn't really do that. So it is what it is. But again, I'd love to know you guys' thoughts on this one because it's just a simple little rumor. But I'm gonna be real. So far, of everything I've read, I think this merch post was the most interesting one. And also, this right here, a Battle Tower update would be massive for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And that's pretty much where the end of the video is going to be happening, guys. Thank you all for watching. I'll be seeing you all in the next one. Peace out and bye-bye, ladies and gentlemen.